everyone. Let's get started. Okay, I know most of you don't like working with deadlines, but we're running out of money. And I can't sell the books until you actually write them, so... Hume? Are you with me? Okay. Let's just go around the room and talk about what we're working on right now, starting here. I'm sorry I was late for work this morning, but let me explain. For 10 whole minutes, I watched the universe expand and collapse inside a cage I could fit between two palms, and I felt like God and I now had an inside joke. Hold on just 1 second. Hobbes, shut up. Newton, go ahead. Okay, grand unified theory of mathematics. Well, I mean, it sounds good, but can we make it sexier? For my part, I'm going to watch hours of television wearing nothing but my running shoes. I wish I could have gathered the smell of this morning for you. Flying through daffodil fields and leapfrog clouds, I would have brought it back here into this fluorescent lit tower of all things grown up. I'm not going to let a little thing like the world stand in my way. I mean, why should I? I understand it about as much as I understand penguins. And I still go to the zoo. When we were young, we were whispers. We were mystics with a faith softer than dusk, believing a cape, juice boxes, and our limiting vocabulary could bring world peace. We were instruments, knowing so little that there was mystery to everything. But these days, we are yells. About 6 months ago, I had a conversation with my friend Nick about the future. He told me he could never be truly happy until he made an impact on the world that would be remembered. Now, I tried to explain that he had already done this, that we are constantly molding those around us, but he said that wasn't enough for him. And I realized that by constantly striving to better the world, we lose sight of the small personal impacts that we make. At the end of the day, the level of our significance remains a purely subjective phenomenon. For as the legendary Steve Jobs explains, things don't have to change the world to be important. So, through the poetry, We Are Not Temples and the World's Too Huge to Grasp by Matthew Dickman, Bloom Backwards by Michael Lee, Publisher's Dilemma by Brian Brainerd, and Late for Work by Lauren Zuniga, a program reminding that you don't have to change the world to change my world. My friend, a Buddhist, tells me that life is constantly changing, and my struggle against it is the cause of all my suffering. Well, that and wanting what I do not have, being less excited about what I do, and the shaky delusions of an invented reality in which I probably spend most of my days. Now, Hume. Hey, Hume, are you having another existential crisis because nothing in the human sensory capacity can confirm that anything is related to anything else? Get over it. I know there's no way you can really know that the sun will rise tomorrow, but you can really know that you are this close to out of here. Hobbes, knock that off. On to Beethoven. Oh, shit. God, can someone get him up to speed, please? Hobbes. God damn it, stop slapping Locke. There's no reason for you to be doing that. I'm trying to have a civilized conversation here, and you two are acting like animals. No, that was not a commentary on man and the state of nature. Here's a social contract for you all. Shut the hell up. Growing up is a whisper. Bursting into a yell and regaining a childhood is blooming backwards. So bloom backwards. Open your mouth, swallow a swarm of fireflies, and hold your breath until they freeze into street lamps. It is dark. We are not lost yet. I know you think what goes on here is important. These big marble columns and the faces of old white men, and I know that you think that inside these walls is where the world gets changed. She's right. Life changes. The sacred becomes, well, after many years secular, then turns back around as if it has forgotten its keys, becoming sacred all over again. As far as delusions go, it must be the ones I have about kindness. That I am never mean, or that I'll always offer my spot on the bus to the elderly woman who grumbles about how much she hates Mexicans. Or that my body is a temple. All right, who's next? Okay, Machiavelli. You know what? I just can't stand your hipster bullshit. I don't even know when you're being ironic anymore. I mean, come on. I just need all of you to write. You know, pen and paper, you're supposed to be good at this. Like, look at William here. In spite of all this racket, he's just writing like crazy because he understands. William, you're writing sonnets again, aren't you? Look, all the more power to you for trying to expand your horizons and things like that, but I'm trying to make sales, and when people think Shakespeare, they think blank verse, so just do that. Jesus Christ. No, not you, but we do need to have a talk because the editors are having a problem with your ghostwriters. Twain, get me a drink. But see, enormous walls don't make the world change. Because on my street, under the bridge, there's a man babbling about freedom under his breath. His hand clutches his bottle for forgiveness as his fingers still reach for the trigger. The change in his cup means more to him than any law you will make. Loom backwards. Now imagine waking up at midnight on a bicycle. Somehow you are seated backwards. Pedal faster. Watch as the neighborhood disappears onto itself. Watch as the grinning slick of a spring road becomes one blur like every moment of a lost freedom finally returning to your feet. Watch as every responsibility is sucked back into the sandbox. Now look over your shoulder. Watch as life approaches your back. Do not let your future live behind you. You are a yell sucked back into a whisper. Now this is why my Buddhist friend is concerned. What it is that we are not temples. No. Our bodies are chemical, organic bed and breakfast where we stay out too late on the beaches of our desires. Or we meet in a bar, like this one, holding the sacred beads in one hand and, well, now the secular tobacco in the other. Inhaling it and letting it exhale in one slow breath. It would be easy to sit at the bar smoking, drinking, ruminating about the why of penguins, pulling our hair out and crying into our gin about how the penguins have forsaken us, how nature is having another party, and we're not invited. But I see how we are with each other. I mean, I see how we act, and it's not the world we should be grasping. The sincerity of the penguins. And then maybe we can add a clause to the law just for us single moms that makes us excused when you are late for work, when you have more important shit to do. Like stopping your daughter just before she walks into school to remind her that even on her worst day, when she has Spider-Man underwear on, no socks, and a knotted jungle of curls on her head, that she is freaking spectacular. And then taking the time to explain exactly what spectacular means. Loom backwards. A whisper is a river drinking the world. It is a string can telephone connecting you to your neighbor's bedroom, the line vibrating so hard with laughter that the night snaps back. The morning. You know, we blink over 22,000 times a day. I bet you thought you only woke up once. You see, this is the important shit to me. Like, when I was 19 and I told my mother I was pregnant and she said, but you were going to do so much. You had so much potential. It was like you were going to change the world. And I said, if I'm never do another goddamn thing in my life, I'll be more important than Gandhi to this child, and that's enough for me. So like I said, I'm sorry I was late for work this morning. I was busy.